from SIDS. If this is your first time coming to this channel, I just want to say, hey, what's up and welcome. If you're not subscribed, please do so. Click the notification bell so you never miss a video from me. Okay, so first of all, before I even get into the topic, and as you can see, the topic is very interesting, but I want to say this. Thank you so much to everyone who watched my previous video. If you missed it, the link is down below. Oh my gosh, your words, your messages, your phone calls. Thank you so much for sharing the video, for, oh my goodness, admitting that you have gone through so much trauma, admitting that things have not worked out, admitting that you needed to release yourself and find a way and find an outlet. Admitting those things are not easy. And we have lived in a society whereas talking about certain things is so taboo. And I appreciate this generation of Bahamians, and I thank God that I'm a part of this generation of Bahamians that will sit down, either write their thoughts, get in front of a camera, or let their voices be heard via podcast or the radio, whatever it is. I'm so grateful to be a part of this generation who is transparent, who is sharing what they went through, because we understand that there are people like you who are watching who need to hear somebody else's story to know that they can overcome and they can be everything that God has intended for them to be. And so I thank you so much for supporting and for watching. Big shout out to everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you for all the love. Today we are talking about the rainbow effect. And although I'm not wearing anything rainbowish, it's Christmas time. I felt a little cozy and I wanted to give you that vibe. But nevertheless, we are talking about the rainbow effect. I am talking about rainbow babies. Rainbow babies are, well, obviously we know that they came straight from heaven, right? But if anyone knows, and please, if you're a rainbow mama or a rainbow dad, if you're watching this right now, please comment down below and tell me what your experience is like. Because for me personally, I think rainbow babies are so different. I think that truly God put a little piece of your angel, the one that went on to heaven, God put a little piece of your angel in that rainbow baby. And it is just, I can't even explain it. I am just so grateful to be a mother to a rainbow baby. A rainbow baby is a baby that is born after the loss of a previous baby, as we call it in the infant loss community, our angel. And so the rainbow is the promised baby, and that directly comes from the story of Noah and the great flood, when God had given mankind the sign and the symbol of the rainbow to promise that he would never destroy the earth again with a flood. And so Noah and his family were the first to experience what a rainbow is. And I want to draw reference to not only rainbow babies, but also the rainbow itself. And for me personally, as a mom to a rainbow baby, and I am just so, listen, for a quick backdrop of everything in respect to my rainbow baby, he was the shock of my life. Point blank period, like, he was the shock of my life. And as I discussed in my previous video, everything that went down there in that situation, there was no way that logically this kid is supposed to be here. But God saw fit that before everything kind of imploded, God saw fit to gift me, gift my family, gift us with this child that would be the very thing to help to heal us, to help to heal me. And I found out that And I'll be quite honest, the thought of another child, especially so soon after loss, terrified me. It absolutely terrified me. That's why I say the biggest shock of my life. It terrified me because I thought of me personally, all of my children look alike. Like, boop, 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 they all look alike. It's like having the same baby over and over and over again. And I felt that if I had a rainbow baby, that the baby would be another little girl, the child would look just like Darielle, and I don't know how I would have mentally coped. But God, in all of his brilliance and wisdom, knew that if I had another little girl, it would have been very difficult. And so instead, he gave me a boy, which is a completely different situation. And although I have an older son, this kid is much different. Very, very much different. And then God was thinking about my older son as well, to have a little brother to play with, you know. And God is so strategic, and he's amazing. He really and truly is. And so he knows what he's doing. The pregnancy was not the happiest pregnancy. It was a bit challenging. I went through some things. And honestly, it just was not, it was very hard, but I had my faith in God. I knew that God was going to bring me through. Prayer kept me for sure. Being surrounded by such wonderful people, prayer warriors, was definitely a bonus and added. I gained a lot of wisdom. I carried myself in silence. I moved in silence. I operated in silence. You know, finding out and telling persons right away, because you know, at that point it was just like kind of late in the game. But just, you know, moving in silence and being around trusted people, doing things very differently. I was actually, you know, with Darielle, I was religious. I wasn't a Christian. I was just religious. Always loved God, but I wasn't saved, right? And so the differences were very clear, you know. With my son, my rainbow baby, I was praying. With Darielle, I was not. And so even now to this day, the baby loves to pray. He loves worship. He loves God. He loves all things church. And it's really and truly a blessing. With that being said about rainbow babies, let's talk about actual rainbows. You know, a little biology here. I'm not a scientist, but I know a little something. With rainbows appear after rains, whether it's a shower or torrential rain. Rainbows appear after the rain when the sun hits water particles in the air. Wow, so look at this definition. Rainbows are called arcs. Did not Noah come out of an ark? My God, that is powerful. Okay, so you saw that detailed definition, because like I said, sis, I know a little bit, but sis ain't a scientist, okay? And with the appearance of a rainbow, rainbows, I believe, are visible. I believe that they're visible even during the storm, but what makes them come out is the light. And so it is necessary for the rainbow to be hidden until its designated time. And so with rainbow babies, they tend to catch many parents by surprise, and they are somewhat hidden. And I believe God does that by design, to protect the pregnancy, to protect the parents, to protect the mother. Everything is orchestrated in the way that it does. And rainbows come, like I said, after the rain. And so going through infant loss, you go through a measure of rain and storm. After every storm is a rainbow, and that is what is said. And this is so true in respect to an actual rainbow. They appear after, like I said, the showers and torrential rains. And when they do appear in the appropriate time, and when they are released in the appropriate time, it brings so much joy. it brings so much awe. You are reminded of the promises of God, and seeing these babies and also seeing an actual rainbow helps us to understand as human beings that God is faithful and He will see you through for sure. I remember an incident as we talk about the appearance and how rainbows need to be hidden before they're released after the rain. I remember an incident where it was a situation whereas my rainbow baby was threatened to be released before its time. God had already instructed me to move in silence, and I did that. When it was the appropriate time and I looked at the two photos side by side, I recognized that God was even hiding this child then. And that's the same with rainbows. Rainbows require being in a secret place before it is released. I want to encourage every parent, mom and dad, I want to encourage you that you want to try again, do not be afraid. Don't be afraid to try again. Open your mind to the possibility. When you are ready, God will make a way. And even sometimes when you're not ready, God will surprise you. And at the time, it doesn't make sense. The circumstances may not be perfect. It makes no sense. It may even grieve your spirit because you might be fearful. You might think, what if the same thing happens again? I cannot take or bear the loss of another child. But can I assure you that when God restores you, He is going to restore you, and it will be no pain and it will be no sorrow. And so you have to rest in that confidence and believe and have faith to know that God is sending you your promise for a reason. The case with me and my story, and I am just so grateful. And did his birth cause healing? It helped. I will say this, it helped, but it really and truly, like I said, it was my faith. And that's why his name is Jeremiah. You know, God says, I know the plans that I have for you. And they are plans to prosper you. They're not for evil. It's to give you an expected end. And I am so grateful for my God's plan baby. Shout out to Akriba. The shirts were bomb. God's plan. Check her out for the Faith Line tees. I'm grateful for my God's plan baby. I'm grateful for my Jeremiah 29:11 promise. God is so good. Just know today that God has a promise waiting for you. Your rainbow is right behind those storm clouds. Your rainbow is coming after that storm. Hold faith and believe and know that God is able. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. And if I haven't said before, season's greetings, Merry Christmas.